Okay, today we are playing a game on Route 66. We are playing a lot of heroes. We're playing mostly Pharah, Roadhog, May, Mercy, and like 5 seconds of Diva. So we're playing a lot of heroes today, but mostly Pharah. And the average SR of this game was 2,464. Didn't push tab at a convenient time for us to look at our team. I'll just tell you what it is. Pharah, obviously. Roadhog, Winston, Soldier, Lucio, Anna. So a very awkward team. Not quite a dive comp and not quite a regular team. It's a shame we don't have a Reinhardt in there, so there can just be like a regular team, but whatever. So we're playing Pharah, Route 66. Good map to play Pharah on. Little unfortunate we don't have a Mercy to support us, but not the end of the world. Doesn't matter too much. So we're playing very cautiously right now. I assume we're like waiting to see what's over here. Then we float up, and then we get a little overeager and start floating forward. We could just, like, sit back, because when you're playing Pharah, you gotta think about what you're gonna use as cover in the air. Textbook mistake is for people to not just, like, float out in open space. We could just stay close to this column that was right behind us and use that as cover, but we start, like, trying to fly directly over them, and then get, like, dropped down to half HP for it pretty quickly. If the soldier's a little better, or there's, like, another hit scan hero over there, we might have died for that right there, since we dropped so low. Better to just, like, stick near cover rather than trying to, like, float over people so brazenly. So the enemy team has just lost their Winston. That sucks for them. Now we're up in the air again. Winston's in here causing some trouble. We're trying to get the soldier. It looks like we're focusing Reinhardt here, but we're trying to shoot the soldier behind him, and Reinhardt ended up body blocking him. Which is unfortunate, but I would have actually started bullying this Mercy instead, because she's gotten tased, so she's not full HP. And both of the supports are over here, right next to each other right now, in this corner. And yeah, Mercy floats away, but this is like the perfect time to put a lot of damage on those two supports, because they're right next to you right now, and out in the open, basically. And also, the Mercy, if she flies to anyone, it's going to be towards Reinhardt, so if you, like, shoot the Mercy and drop her low, she's going to die to Winston floating over there, and Mercy is, like, a higher priority target than anyone else. I get that we want to kill the soldier, but, like, the Mercy and the Lucio were pretty prime right there. So we're looking for the other Pharah right now, and we do spend quite a bit of time focusing the Pharah, but we don't do so right now, and now we've gotten killed by soldier. Basically, we're not near anything that we can use as cover. We were near the sign, which we could use, and then we start drifting away from it, and then we just try to land, but we can't, and we get killed. You gotta think about what you're gonna be near in the air, and what you're gonna use as cover. You gotta think as cover in the 3 dimensions when you're playing Pharah. We could have just hung closer to the sign and used that as cover in the air, but we drift out in the open, realized we needed to get out of the way, and we couldn't drop down fast enough. So, Soldier is just, like, out here in the open, and he dies in the end. Got him in the end. Winston did anyway. Mercy decides to just res the Soldier, which is probably the correct decision, though it seems really weird. So, we float up again, and now we're sticking more near this rock, using it as cover. That's good. We've almost got Barrage built up, but we're not overly concerned about Barrage, because it's not a fantastic ultimate. And we've come around the back end, and it's going to be hard for us to get anything done. Pharah's not like the best flanker in the world, but Winston comes in and helps us pick off the Mercy. Soldier's using Tac Visor over there. We managed to kill all these people back here. Everything's worked out great. Somebody's still alive over here. It's Soldier. He's not. He's going to die. And so now we've almost got Barrage, and we're going to come over here. We build it up off this Winston. I would honestly just, like, Concussive Blast closer to this Winston and just ult him point blank. Because Barrage is a really bad ultimate, for one thing. A lot of heroes in the game, the ultimate is better than the hero, like Dragonblade is better than Genji. Pharah is better than Barrage. So unless you have, like, a Zarya that you're trying to combo ults with, you can just dump Barrage to get a quick kill on 1 or 2 people, and that's perfectly fine. I would just kill this Winston, just to make sure that he doesn't stall out the point and let anybody get back to keep contesting it. Because Barrage is just not really something that you have to, like, treasure, because it's a pretty bad ultimate. And now, two tanks coming out with the Lucio, and by the time that we decide to ult, they've already gotten past us. I would have just ulted sooner. Like, If I didn't ult the Winston, I would have definitely ulted as soon as I saw the Reinhardt, and we hesitated a little bit longer. Doesn't matter, our team still gets it there right after we respawn, so we have to walk all the way back across again. Oh no. The walk of shame, or the float of shame. Almost at the float of Spain, which is weird. So, anyway, the float of shame over, we're back up here now. There's still like a bit of a fight happening, but it's resolved now. And now we're gonna come over this way. Nobody out here just yet, so we float over here, and we're just waiting for it to find somebody, basically. We find Reinhardt coming out, and we start shooting at him, and now we're going to get into a bit of a fight with the Pharah. I would generally advise you to not bother trying to fight another Pharah, because there are certain matchups in this game that are just not really worth dealing with, because it's like the best case scenario is that you kill them, but it will have taken you so long, in most cases, just to have not been worth it. And it's like Tracer versus Tracer, Genji versus Genji, Pharah versus Pharah. We get the Pharah in the end, but I'd rather we were just like trying to kill one of these other people instead. Like, it's just so not worth the effort usually to try and fight another Pharah. Or another Tracer or another Genji. You know, there's something, it's just not worth the effort. You can usually spend your time on something better. But things are going well right now. Soldier popped out right in front of us and has kind of like juked us around. We don't really know what we're doing. We managed to get out of the way with just 2 hits left, because he does 20 damage. And got caught on the ledge, we got him back over here right now. You know, we could have killed the soldier if we executed it a little better, but whatever, happens. So, now we're kind of like, we spend like a lot of time here, not really doing anything. We like, we're spent like, something important is like having as much uptime as possible. You could just, like, go across the rooftop and start shooting at these people, but we, like, drop down here and, like, go all the way through. And then, like, we come right out in Farah's face, but it's, like, it just takes us a long time to get into a position to actually do anything, when we could have just, like, floated across the roof and been shooting, like, the whole time, basically. So, but anyway, soldiers popped out over there. We concussive blast him back in again, so that he didn't get very much done there. I like this in theory, but, like, if we had Barrage, this would be good, but, like, this isn't really gonna do anything, because, like, if they come out, yeah, we'll get, like, one shot at them. What we could do instead is just float, like, over in this area, behind the pillar, and just shoot into the hallway, and basically pretend to be playing Junkrat, well, a better Junkrat for a while. Because, like, somebody pops out right here, yeah, we'll shoot them once, but then they might, like, just dip back in or get away from us or something. I just shoot in and, like, suppress the hallway rather than do that. If we had Barrage, I think that would have been a better play, but we didn't have Barrage, so. So, now, what we're gonna do now, as I was watching this through earlier, I was like, I can't believe they let you get away with this. Like, it's absolutely unbelievable what we do over here. We get a lot of work done, eventually. We take a long time killing this Pharah. Like, I would not come over here, ever, basically. Even if, like, somebody's over here doing stuff, just, like, stay over here with the team, because, like, what we're doing right now, it works out, but this is not something you should expect to work out. I was watching this earlier, like, I can't believe you're getting away with this. Like, incredible. So, we are back here now, and we kill Junkrat, because Junkrat's like, what the fuck? And he's playing Junkrat, so what's he gonna do about it? We get to help kill this Lucio, and we're gonna kill somebody else, this soldier. Like, we get away with being over here for a really long time, because, like, we got the drop on Junkrat and all that, but, like, I would not recommend coming into this area so ahead of time. I would have just stayed over with the payload rather than doing this. Because if things went really well this time, I wouldn't expect it, though. So we're going to use Barrage right now, and the platform goes out underneath us, and it kills us, and happens. It's, yeah, not something you have to think about, really. It's like the platform moving in the way, so it happens. So, we've respawned now. We are going to change to Mei in the near future, which I don't really understand why we did, because Mei doesn't really do that well against their team as a whole. So our whole team is dead right now, so we can't do anything, so we come back out here to wait for everybody. As you should. And now everybody's starting to recollect, we're still waiting, and everybody's back together now, so now we can go. And our Ana has changed to Mercy, but it's like beyond the point of really mattering anymore, really, as whether or not we have a Mercy. So, Winston's over here. We can't really get in at him because of the bubble. He dropped the bubble down right there. I would not follow into, like, this area, because this is not where Pharah wants to fight, basically. You're better off staying out in the more open area outside. I mean, Pharah is kind of iffy on this point in general, because it's pretty confined in general. But I would just stay out here and, like, shoot over in that direction, because, like, coming into these even smaller confined locations is not what Pharah really wants to do. Because, you know, it's hard to take advantage of vertical mobility when there's a roof right there. But we get to just pop out on the other side, and again, we're focusing the enemy team's Pharah. We could be killing their Mercy right now. Like, their Mercy dies regardless, but, like, this is taking so long. So very long, and we didn't even kill her in the end. Like, we could have been doing so very much more during that period of time right there. Do not worry about killing the other Pharah unless the other Pharah gives you, like, a really good opportunity to kill her. Just, like, don't bother with it. So, now we're coming over here. We're getting really close to the Reinhardt, which is not advisable. You don't really need to get closer to the Reinhardt to hit him. So, now the rest of the team is starting to reinforce, and we're coming around the back to try and get the Mercy, but there's a soldier here with her as well. It's very awkward, and we killed the soldier, but the Pharah killed us because we were low near the ground, and we had 8 hit points, so it's not very surprising. Basically, this was all, like, overconfidence, as far as I see it. Like, now we changed to Mei, which I don't really understand, because Mei is not very good against their team, so I'm not really sure what provoked this switch, because, like, Mei does really badly against this team in general. Unless they, like, let you kill them, which, I mean, is always the great equalizer. But, like, you don't really need to get right on top of the Reinhardt to shoot at him. Like, you could have just, like, shot at him from further away. And then, when you realize things are starting to go bad, you could just, like, concuss, and, like, yeah, you're floating over him at a point to shoot past his shield and all that. But as soon as you concussive blast is good mobility, so then you just, like, concussive blast back to your team off the pillar, and then, like, you get away from the soldier, basically. There a bit of over-eagerness, and then, like, committing to a decision, and then, like, committing to a bad fight past that to try and kill their Mercy, basically led up to that death. So we're playing Mei now. I don't really know why we're playing Mei, but you have a very good Mei skin, so that's the important thing. I love her nails in this skin. Like, I love watching her reload, because I really like her nails in this skin. Which is a really weird statement, but, like, oh, I love it. So, anyway, now, we're coming up here, we're just right-clicking into people as we go up, fair enough. And we try to roll off the Reinhardt, we've walled off the Reinhardt. Our Reinhardt comes in, we have to use our shift because we're about to die. We pop out really low HP still. Wouldn't really recommend that because there's like a lot of stuff over here that could just randomly kill you if it hit you. Which we want to avoid if possible. So, Mercy's just used her res over here. We're trying to freeze this Lucio, but our team keeps bumping him around, and he's playing Lucio, so it's really hard to do. And, like, now it's getting very awkward for us, because there's a lot, like, their team is very mobile, and they have a lot of barriers, and it's very, like, I don't really see what Mei is gonna do in this situation, basically. Like, we're basically just, like, trying to freeze whoever we can. But, like, they have a Pharah who is not really in our area. We're trying to freeze this soldier who's using Tac Visor right now. We freeze him in the end, and we just keep sprinkling him. Oh, God, Skype's beeping. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Alright, there we go. That's that with. So, now we're trying to get this Lucio off, who is out here just contesting the point. Here's a Pharah. We've sprinkled the Pharah, and we got pinned out of nowhere, because we were looking at the Pharah. Could you have really seen that one coming? I don't think you really could have seen that one coming. From the position we were in. You could, but we're looking at the Pharah. I mean, you could see it, so it's like, if you could see it, but, like, we're clearly looking at the Pharah because we're trying to get her, so, whatever, happens. So, we've almost built up our ultimate, so we don't change, fair enough, and our team is over there keeping it in overtime right now. They've just lost their Reinhardt, they've just lost their Bastion that they now have, and we're basically just going to throw our ult as soon as we're in range, which is fair enough, but help the fucking Mercy over here as well, because, like, your Mercy is getting bullied by this Winston right now. Like, yeah, that's fine and all, but, like, help with this situation over here. This is, like, the best you can get, really, like, freezing this Winston in this tiny area. And your team's doing fine over here. Like, help your Mercy who's getting bullied by the Winston. She doesn't die anyway, so it doesn't matter, but, like, help your support. It's pretty important that she lives. So, that's the first round done. As you can see, we play a lot of rounds. We play a lot of rounds on Route 66 right now. We go full 4 rounds. Skipped a little bit too far ahead. Let's come back a little bit. Let's go forward a little bit. Good enough. Alright, so, to start with, I'm not really sure why we stand over here. It seems like we wait to ambush somebody as they come up into the entrance of this mine. Which, I mean, like, we could just be, like, floating up by the side of the cliff trying to poke people right now and, like, get damage in, try and build ult charge. But we, like, spend a lot of time over here not really doing anything. Like, very, very poor uptime right now. We could have been poking this entire period. This time I'm okay with you bullying the Pharah, because the Pharah also positions right next to this wall, so you don't actually need to directly hit Pharah, because she's right next to something, so that's fine. That is an example of Pharah making it easy for you to kill her. So, but now, we're just sort of floating out in open space, but it's okay, because their soldier has just died. So we could have, in fact, gone more aggressively with this information. Because we can see up here, both their DPS is dead, Soldier's dead, Soldier's the one who's going to kill us, because they don't have anything else that can really kill us. We could actually just go more aggressive right now and start bullying those supports, but we land, and now we're going to go aggressive after that. We could have gone aggressive way sooner, but we're doing it now, so that's the important thing. We do land right in the middle of these people, which we don't want to do. And, you know, kind of the point of Pharah is to be in the air so that people can't hurt you, but whatever. So now, Soldier is back, but Soldier's all alone, and we get to kill the Soldier. Great, awesome, and now I got 60% of Barrage built up very quickly. Not that it matters overly so. We still don't have a Zarya on our team, so we don't need to worry about holding it to... Oh no, we do have a Zarya on our team right now. It never pays off. Don't worry about it. But we do have a Zarya, so we would actually be more interested in holding Barrage right now. It doesn't ever really come up, but, so anyway. Now, this is happening over here. We are, again, focusing the Pharah, but the Pharah does a lot of landing, so that's okay. And she drops down really low. And now, there's, like, a lot of stuff happening over here. We use our Concussive Blast for, like, basically no reason right here, which is not very good, because, like, what's that really gonna do? You're not gonna put Lucio in a worse position, because he's already right in front of the entire team. And it's a really long cooldown, and it's kind of important for your own mobility as well. Like, a lot of people only think of Concussive Blast as affecting the enemy heroes. It's actually really important for mobility. Because if you watch, like, really high-level Pharah players, you'll see them, like, see an opportunity, and then just, like, really fluidly, like, Concussive Blast off something right into position to barrage the entire enemy team. It's pretty important cooldown to just, like, have, so you don't really want to use it frivolously, like right there. So Lucio dies because Soldier's using Tac Visor right now, so basically it doesn't matter what we do because we've got, like, Tac Visor supporting us. However, now that is gone. Most of their team is dead. Again, we land. We don't really want to do that. We land right on Winston, so we're just putting ourselves in a position where Winston can hit us. And you don't need to be closer to Winston to try and hit him. He's a big guy. You can just be in the air. So now the enemy team is having to recollect. Their Lucio just died randomly in the middle of the street, so that's good for us. And we can just sort of, like, shoot in some damage right now. It's whatever, you know. We've built up Barrage, so it's not like we're going to build up ult charge off poking right now. Now we're really low HP, so we should be falling back so we can get healed. We're now being healed. We push Winston away, but he just jumps at us. Like, if you're going to do that, try to also do it, like, you were close enough that you could also try and bump yourself away, because, like, Winston's just going to do exactly what he does, which is jump forward again. So if the idea is to get away from Winston, like, you gotta bump yourself away as well, basically, because he'll just jump to you. So, but anyway, he's playing Winston. He's mostly on the ground. Lots of ultimates are happening over here, which is why we're sort of out of the way right now. And Pharah just uses Barrage right there. I would probably just, like, Barrage this Reinhardt right here, because, like, this is... that's, like, he's probably not going to die, because, like, all this stuff is happening over here. Pharah is actually really bad at killing tanks, because like, it's a lot of damage, but she fires really slowly, so she's not actually that good at killing tanks just by firing at them. I would probably just ult this Reinhardt just to make sure he dies, basically. Their Pharah uses Barrage right there. We just dunk on the Pharah, and as you can see, ulting the Reinhardt would have paid off, because now he's full HP again. We try and, like, bump some people off. It doesn't work out. We're after this Soldier right now, but all our cooldowns are down, so we can't actually keep up to him right now, and now he's using his ultimate. and he's got nano boost on him. We've already jumped to that point. Actually, do we jump when we hear him? Hold on. Do we, like, hear him and then jump up? Because that's not good, if that's what happened. No, it's pretty, like, over by the time we hear it, regardless. Pretty much the Hail Mary play is just ult the soldier and hope you kill him before he kills you. You were dead regardless, so I would have probably tried it, because, like, barrage is still not that important. And, like, our Zarya, it's not gonna work out. Like, yeah, it's kind of like hindsight's 2020, but, like, stopping tack visor is pretty important, and you were definitely dead, so I would be prepared to, like, throw my mediocre ultimate out there to try and stop, like, one of the most threatening ult combos in the game. And he was, like, half HP. It might have worked. So there's a graviton happening over there, but we're kind of more interested in just, like, stopping the point, because it's closer to the, it's close to the checkpoint. But we end up using barrage, and so, I mean, it's mostly over by the time we even get over here, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter overly so. And we end up killing 2 people, but we shoot right next to the Winston, and that kills us as well. You were dead regardless in that position, so there's not much point really bothering with it. Like, it's just like a go out there and touch the point kind of moment, but, like, I don't think it matters, really, what happened right there. So, we are going to change to Roadhog in the near future. Which, I mean, fine, whatever. Roadhog is a good hero. We're just, like, firing into them right now as they're coming through that, basically pretending to play Junkrat, but a way better Junkrat. And now, Reinhardt's got his shield up, so we're just shooting into the shield. There's not much else we can be doing right now. Now Winston's coming around, and we're shooting to the Winston. Pharah is generally really bad at killing Winston, but, like, there's kind of nothing better for us to have been doing at that time. And now we've just jumped out into open sky, right in full view of Soldier, and we almost die, not thinking of cover in the 3 dimensions. And then Soldier's just like, oh, sick. Pharah, like, that's how you die as Pharah. Like, that's how you die as Pharah right there. Because it's actually really hard to kill Pharah as Soldier. Soldier has to shoot you a lot of times, especially if you have a supporting you, like a Mercy or even just a Zenyatta. The only reason a Soldier ever actually just, like, straight up kills a Pharah is because the Pharah played it badly, basically, by, like, floating out in open space. You gotta think about cover in the 3 dimensions. So, but we're changing to Roadhog now anyway, so whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. So, now, sudden shift, now we're playing still a DPS, but one that has the obligation of pretending to be a tank occasionally. So, but we are really good against Winston, but this is happening, so we don't get to really do much right there. We hook the Pharah and kill her, but they've already gotten the checkpoint there, so it doesn't really matter. We can't go out there and contest it, and we come back around this way. So, this is not the end of the world. This is debatably the easiest part of Route 66 to actually defend, so it's not the end of the world that we're up to the 3rd checkpoint. Generally, I find it tends to get to the 3rd checkpoint and is decided there. So we're sitting really far back right now, and I'm not really sure why. I guess because we're trying to protect against the Winston. Fair enough, whatever, that's fine. Well, you do want to focus the Winston pretty hard if possible when you're playing Roadhog. He ends up jumping away from us, and now he's got the barrier on him as well. Now we've got our own barrier, but now he's big. So everything is very inconvenient right now. Nano visor is happening over there, and that's really scary, and oh god, now he's looking right at us, and our hook is on cooldown, and we end up getting killed by him, and our hook is on cooldown. So there's not much that's gonna happen there, unless you get, like, a really lucky meat shot into him, which does not happen. Not much to be done with that one. A lot of ultimates got thrown into the pot, basically, and that's just kind of what happens. If the attacking team throws, like, 4 ultimates at you, you get killed if you don't have enough ultimates to fend it off with. Which we evidently didn't. So this is happening over here. We hook him away from the Ana, which is really good. And now this is happening. We can't combo whole hog with it, but we can just get in there and left click on people, so that's good. And now it's just Pharah. That's just Pharah. This is Ana. This is her mother. You know, close enough. This is an Amari. And now she's dead, eventually. Took a while, but we got her. So we have most of Whole Hog built up. Whole Hog is also a really bad ultimate. Roadhog is far better than Whole Hog. And Zarya just used Graviton, so we shouldn't worry about comboing it, because we can probably use this whole hog and build up another one before Zarya builds up another Graviton. So we should basically be looking to use this one at the earliest opportunity. Soldier elects to kill himself right there, so that's good for us. And the enemy team actually only has a minute left. Isn't it funny how time flies? So, their Reinhardt's coming in. He Earth Shatters. We get hit, even though it kind of looked like Zarya should block us, but latency, you know, all that. I swear to God, they've done something to Reinhardt, because I was playing the other day after the patch, and, like, Earth Shatter just feels weird now, as they're swinging into people. I feel like they've done something to, like, counteract weird latency things that would happen with Reinhardt, because he feels really weird to play right now, and I can't quite put my finger on why. So, anyway, we've built up whole hog. I would just use it right here, because there's like 2 tanks right in front of you and a lot of barriers, basically. And just like, yeah, just use it now. We get nano boosted by the Ana. We can't really do anything, because A, they had the beat dropped on them, and then, they had the beat dropped on them, and then B, there were a lot of places for them to disappear, and then C, we got pinned out of it. So, that sucks. Roadhog nano boosted is still scary, but like, not much to come of it. Soldiers up there, nano visoring, again, not much we can do about that, again, and we get killed. And now we change to D.Va. Do we change to D.Va right now? No, we changed to D.Va we changed to D.Va at one point, I swear to God. So, we're back out, teams fended it off, ultimates were used, High Noon killed Ana, great, awesome, that's one entire more person than you expect High Noon to kill. So, and now, the enemy team, they haven't got very long left. They just lost their Lucio, which is a very promising start. And they've just lost a bunch of people, which is even more promising. Yet more promising news, we learn they have an Orisa suddenly. So, this is all fantastic news for us. We've just been made purple, which is unfortunate. We had to reload right as we hooked the Winston. Feels bad. Take a breather. Like, take a breather right there, because you are going to have to fight, and you end up having to fight, and you die with take a breather on cooldown. Half HP, take a breather. You gotta get full HP for this fight. That alone might have actually been enough, because this fight is really close. If you had just, like, healed up to full HP, it would have also given you really close to having a whole hog. So if you took a breather right there, you probably live long enough to build up whole hog, because it would have been, like, 15% more, right? Like, we might have actually been able to win the game right there by taking a breather when we didn't take a breather. So, and as you can see, we've got more to go. So, we've gotten back out, we've managed to kill the Winston, but things are going badly at this point. We take a breather, and we try to whole hog, we get tranked, and we try to whole hog, and we get killed. Feels bad, man. I would have done the exact same thing. There's not much else you can do. So, we're going to change to D.Va now to try and get out here quicker and contest it. Which is, yeah, that's what you do. So, we try and get round here. We don't actually make it, do we? No, we don't. Oh, no, we do actually make it. Oh, happy day. But what are we gonna do, right? Like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna stand here as long as we can, and then we're gonna get pushed away by Winston, and we're gonna come over here and touch it again, and then we're gonna get pushed away by Winston again, and then we're gonna lose the round. Both teams got it in overtime, so that means both teams are gonna have a minute, which is not the end of the world, you know. Can get rather swingy. The first point on Route 66 is fairly inconsistent. So now we're going to play Mercy for these next 2 rounds. So, you see, we played a lot of different people. We basically let everyone else pick first, and then people were saying they wanted Mercy, so we played Mercy. Fair enough. So, we are coming out the gate right now. We have good people to damage boost, because we have a Soldier and a McCree. So now we have suddenly changed to a very different hero, because we've changed from Roadhog to Mercy. So now, very sudden mentality shift has to be made. Winston gets killed. We were healing him. He died regardless. Feels bad, man. So right there, we're like healing people at full HP. We're healing like this is. I don't know how frequently you play Mercy, so like whatever. But like when you're playing Mercy, if you're healing somebody at full HP, that's the same as you having no beam turned on at all. And it's really hard to carry as a support, Mercy in particular, because she can't actively contribute to her fight herself. She can, but then she has to stop healing and damage boosting, so she doesn't get to actively contribute herself very often. So you've got to be very, very efficient. As soon as the person you're healing is full HP, you start damage boosting somebody, because you're trying to be as efficient with your resources as possible. We're trying to get to this Reinhardt. Reinhardt goes behind many lines of sight, so we don't actually get to him in time. Sucks, you know, that's more Reinhardt putting himself out of line of sight than anything else, so whatever. For healing people at full HP, this is the same as your beam being turned off completely. Avoid as much as possible. We're trying to see Winston. We can't see Winston. By the time we see Winston's dead. So, whatever. Can't do anything about that. We pull out our pistol very, very briefly. And now we end up in a very awkward position. We end up putting ourselves in here. The play here is Guardian Angel to Reinhardt after picking that up and hope that you get away. Because they saw you come in here. And boy, are they coming from all doorways right now. So the play there is basically pick up the large health kit and then just Guardian Angel to Reinhardt and hope that you get away with it, because staying in there is like definite death. Like Pharah at least knew, and then Soldier came in as well, so we end up getting killed. Which, you know, feels bad, man. So we ended up getting like ushered in there by Pharah before that, but like the play is basically pick it up and then just hope for the best with Guardian Angel. So we're trying to get back. Lots of bad things happening over here. We're not exactly hopeful. And we don't get back in time to touch it. We got it to, like, the second bend, which is decent, considering they only also have a minute. So, you know, it's not the end of the world. We're still playing Mercy. So let's skip for a little bit more forward. So, we have a Bastion now. Which is, I mean, fair enough. We only have to hold it for a minute. There is always the fallback of hope that they are bad enough that they don't know what to do about Bastion. So our play now is sit here and damage boost Bastion. I'm not sure why we're not damage boosting Bastion already. Don't have the healing beam on Bastion. Put the damage beam on the Bastion. Damage beam on the Bastion. Like, right, this is where you would change to the healing beam, because now he's actually taking damage. You could have had it on the damage boost this entire period of time, basically. So, now they're up here. They're pushing us around. We've gotten knocked off of the high ground, so now we have to get back onto the high ground again. And our team is no longer on the high ground, so we have to come off the high ground again. It's very awkward, very awkward. Very unfortunate position we ended up in. So, fight's going well over here, though. Things are all working out great, even though we weren't actually doing anything during that period, because we got pushed into an unfortunate location. Much fighting happening over here. Honestly, just go back, start damage boosting the Bastion. Just like, these people are going to be rushing out here right now. You're not doing anything healing these people. Now we're pulling out our pistol to shoot at people. Just go damage boost Bastion. Like, now, we would come over here and try to help the Reinhardt. We could have just been damage boosting Bastion that entire period of time, basically. Healing people at full HP. Not good. Yeah, the same as your beam being turned off. Still healing people at full HP. Now we're healing people who are getting damaged. And we get earth shattered by Reinhardt. But the beat was dropped. We managed to slide away from the Reinhardt. Bastion set up in like the worst possible position, but it's not really his fault with everything that was happening. We are heartbreakingly close to having res, but we can't actually res many people because some people got pushed off the edge. So, healing people at full HP. Efficiency. We should be trying to get over to the soldier right now because we don't want to be tethered to Lucio. Like, we want to be tethered to that soldier over there because A, he was low HP, so we wanted to try and heal him. B, he's who we want to be damage boosting. Soldier's behind you right now in critical HP also, so you should be turning around to heal the soldier right now. We saw him very briefly run past critical HP. Pharah is behind us right now, so that's very scary. We just Guardian Angel away from her. Oh god, very scary. And game ends. I would have res sooner than that, because I would be afraid of dying to the barrage, but it all works out in the end. Everything is well. All is fine. So, do we see the play of the game in this replay? We do, and it appears to be Lucio. So, that's very exciting. Did he push two people off, by any chance? Should have skipped forward a little bit, but it's too late now. We're gonna watch the whole thing up till the Lucio. Alright, Agar. How did you do it? Oh, it's gonna be in 2 parts, no less. Yeah, damn, the Reinhardt actually went off? The Reinhardt actually went off from that? Watch that one again. Wow, that must have been like a matter of pixels that he actually flew off from that angle. Damn, unlucky Reinhardt. Feels bad, man. So, damn, 7 minutes, 30 seconds objective time. I mean, he's playing Lucio, so it's not exactly unexpected, but damn, that's a high number. So, no overwhelmingly huge things stand out to me. The most consistent thing was as far, well, okay, so I lied to you, because now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, no, actually, yes, there were. So the thing that stood out the most was not really thinking about cover in 3 dimensions. You gotta be near cover when you're in the air as Pharah. Very important. This is why certain maps are really good for Pharah, because they have lots of things to stay near in the air, or you can just be really far away and just be outside of the hit scan's range of killing you. Route 66 has both aspects, where there are bits that are good to use for cover, and then there are areas you can just be really far away. So you've got to think, what can I use as cover? If there's nothing I can use as cover, either consider staying on the ground more, or just try and be further back, because your weapon doesn't have fall off. Soldier's does, so you can still just be too far away for Soldier to actually kill you. But you've got to think about what you're doing in the air, because there's a lot of, like, floating out in open space, and there's a few situations where we should die, but we don't die, or we don't die as quickly, because they're not quite good enough to punish us, or the team comp doesn't quite let them. But, like, if you're floating out in open space, you've got to be, like, really sure there's nothing that can kill you. So, think more about cover in the 3 dimensions. We open ourselves up to Soldier a lot of times. And the other thing is target prioritization. We fixate on the Pharah quite a lot while we're playing Pharah. We don't want to do that. We want to be firing at more or less anyone else unless Pharah gives us an opportunity to do so. So, Pharah players do this a lot, where they get, like, really into firing at each other. Like, just ignore the Pharah, shoot at something else, try and find a supporter, or somebody that's on the ground. Even if it's just a tank, shoot at a tank. That's going to be a more productive use of your time in most cases than trying to shoot at the Pharah. But those are the 2 biggest things that stood out to me. Other thing that stood out to me, you have Concussive Blast bound to E, which is the default, fair enough. I think E is a really unfortunate place to actually put Concussive Blast. I prefer to rebind it to right-click. But that's personal preference, but that also stood out to me. So, anyway, those are the things that stood out to me the most. And, you know, like, a lot of the other stuff on the other heroes was, like, a lot of unfortunateness. The thing that stood out the most on the other heroes is, like, you're doing a lot of empty healing as Mercy, which is healing people at full HP. Try to avoid that. Real bad. As soon as they're full HP, you change to something else. So, anyway, those are the things that stood out to me the most. Hopefully you found this. Thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I'm happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful. Almost fucked it up. Recovered it. Great job, me.